Hello friends, today we are going to harvest this lovely, enormous, look how big it is, the leaves anyhow, turnip today, and we are going to make a soup with it, so stick with me. Let's see if I can find out where I don't want to pull my lettuce out accidentally, but it is a nice sized turnip to be growing in a elevated bed. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Now this is a Asian turnip. I have to get you the name of it when I go to post, but this is going to be delicious. So we're going to take this inside and get started on making our soup. Okay, now it's time for us to clean our radish off before we carry it in the house, because I don't want all the dirt in my kitchen sink. Let's turn it over. Make sure we get the other side. Okay, and now we're in the kitchen, and here are a few of our ingredients on top of our radish. I'm sorry, our turnip that we have. We also have some russet potatoes, some carrots, some bacon, some heavy whipping cream, and also in the skillet or in the pot, we're going to put some spicy Italian sausage. So let's get started. Okay, so here we are with our vegetables. We have our russet potatoes, our Asian turnip, our carrots. I'm about to dice them all up and rinse them all off one more time. I'm going to dice them into nice bite-sized pieces. Another good tip, besides having yourself a bowl sitting aside to put these all in and rinse them off, again, is to set yourself a trash bowl. This is good if you decide you want to compost the stuff back into your garden to replenish any and all of the nutrients that all the vegetables that you just grew or are growing are sucking up out of your soil. So compost. Put your scraps in a bowl and bury them in your yard again. All right, and then so that was our turnip bottom. This is our turnip top. I'm gonna dice this up. I'm gonna de-stem it and chop it up in our soup in place of what I would normally use as kale. If you did not know, turnip greens are the greens at the top of the turnip. So I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna cut them up and put them in the soup too. So nothing is really going to waste from this turnip that I grew as an experiment. It's the first time I ever grew this type. And as you see, it looks very much like potato. So my understanding is that turnips and potatoes taste pretty much the same. So I shouldn't have any problems with getting this to cook up similarly in my soup. So I'll be right back after I've cleaned and diced and put everything together, just so all we gotta do is go through putting it in a pot. Be back. Okay, so here's my trash bowl. Here are my stems from my turnip greens. And grab my heavy whipping cream. We're gonna slide over to the stove and we're gonna start the cooking process. So here we are. We got my Dutch oven going on here. First thing I'm gonna put in this pot is going to be our bacon. This is real hard to do with two hands, so hold on. Or with one hand. Okay, so we got our bacon in the pot. Get ourselves a little spoon action. Do a little hand switcheroo. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is cook your bacon now. And once it's cooked, we'll take it out of the pan. We'll leave that bacon juice in there. We'll cook our Italian sausage. And just so you know, as a good tip pointer, if you are not well versed in kitchen skills, which not all of us are, right? And that's okay. If you want to cut bacon or really any meat, fine or small, and it's a soft piece of meat like bacon's real soft, make sure it's semi-frozen. once it's semi-frozen, you got a little bit more toughness to work with. So try that out as a tip. But I'm gonna let this brown, and then I am going to remove it onto a plate to drain a little bit, and then we'll move on to cooking our Italian sausage. Yes, hot Italian sausage. Matter of fact, before we cut, that's my whipping cream. Here are all of my seasonings. And then we have our root vegetables. And yes, our turnip is in there. I can only tell it's in here because it's just a little bit lighter than the potato. Just a little bit. Oh, you might not be able to see it. But it's a little lighter than potato. The rest of the potatoes are more yellow. The turnip was whiter. There's my carrots in there. And then those are my turnip socks that I've cleaned and cut up to go in our soup in place of kale. So I'll be back when our bacon is ready. And we're back. And so now we have our spicy Italian sausage in the pot. There's our bacon over here looking nice and brown and crispy and delicious. And I put that bacon grease to the side. You know you can't get rid of bacon grease. Still a few little bits and pieces of bacon in the pot. But it's all good. It's all going in the same place. I just don't want all that oil sitting in my soup. So this is where we are. And I'll be back as we get to the end of the browning on the sausage. Oh, it's steamy. Okay, we just about done browning off this pork. Let's see, a couple little pink pieces. Look at that. I'm gonna keep that all browned in. Okay, now for those of y'all who can't eat pork, won't eat pork, allergic to this, don't like bacon, etc., etc., if that's you, change your meat. Okay, you don't do bacon, skip it. You don't do pork of any sort, change it. Beef works in this recipe. Ground chicken will work in this recipe. Maybe you think the sausage is going to be too fatty. I mean, there's ways to get around that, right? Draining it and all that good stuff. But I mean, if you don't want sausage, but you're not averse to pork, then you can change it up with something else. What about chopped up pork loin? Use what you have. What about, just chopped up chicken breast? Use what you have. This is what I have. So this is what I'm using. This is what we like. This is what we're doing. Alright, so that's browned up. Let me get some of this grease out of here. Okay. Let me get some of this grease out of here. This piece of paper towel. This trick, as old as I am, rolling around in the bottom of your pan. Oh, I hope y'all can see that. It's hard to do these things with one hand. Okay, I gotta get a better setup. Tell me more about what's the best setup for doing something like this. Because I want to be able to show more people more things as we slide into 2023. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the most technologically savvy. I know how to do things, but technology wasn't one of them. Okay, I'm still learning. Help me learn. I'm gonna help you learn. Okay, so there's our napkin and ear. Look at that, all that grease. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so we're moving on. After we get the grease out, we're going to add water. Now, if you have it and you don't have, I don't have it right now, so I'm doing this. But you want to use chicken broth if you have it. Right now, I don't have chicken broth, so we're going to make our version of chicken broth. This is the poor man's version. You'll find out about it in a minute. Okay, so there's our sausage. Okay, here's our root vegetables. Ooh, try not to splash. See, one-handed, it's not cute. All right, there we go. Got every piece of everything in there. Look at that. That already look good. Okay. All right. So first thing first, we're gonna let this cook down until all of these lovely vegetables are fork tender. I mean, half a fork or knife to poke it. Okay? Because nobody want a crunchy potato or a crunchy carrot or crunchy turnip. I also think it's kind of cool to put turnips in place of potatoes. Are turnips low carb? Any of y'all out there on the low carb? Because this would be low carb if you did 100% turnips. I'm pretty sure. We should Google that. But I'm pretty sure turnips have less carbs than potatoes. It's just a thought. I'll be back when it's off. Alright, ladies and gents, we are back. And I have my fork. I done already been in here poking at my stuff to see if it's fork tender. But basically, what you're going to do is just take your fork and truly just see if you can't stick it into the vegetables. I've tried all of them. Take my word for it. It's just this hard to do that. and hold this camera at the same time. But I have checked the radishes, which are the ones that seem to float. I've checked the potatoes, which do not seem to float. And I've checked the carrots. So now it's time to move on to the next step, part of the process. So over here, I have seasonings. This is all the seasonings that I showed you in the beginning. The only thing that's different is I did not use garlic salt. I used garlic granules. So to cut back on the sodium intake on this. But basically you have, let's see if I can remember the order. Oregano. This is my thyme. Some Cajun seasoning. This is the Sunrise salt-free seasoning, sunshine, something like that. The Tabitha, from Tad. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Black pepper. This is my garlic granules, parsley, some red chili flakes, and right here is how we get that chicken bouillon, and how we get that chicken broth flavor. So this is what I have, since I don't have chicken broth. So we're just gonna stick all of this in here. And we're gonna give that a moment to infuse with everything else in this pot. And then we'll move on to additional stages of adding in our kale substitute, our turnip greens. We're gonna let those cook down. And then we're gonna add our heavy whipping cream to just give the soup, as you see, it's thin. It's a soup, right? It's a soup. It's not a stew. It's not a stoop. Or what other phrase you want to use for it. It's not meant to be thick. But we want to thicken the broth just a little bit more. If you don't like heavy cream or milky soups, and you're good to stop here. Once you're good with your seasonings, then stop right here. It's done. Dinner's ready. Okay? But if you are like me and you want the fullness, the full experience, you want to not be hungry in 45 minutes, add a little more. So in my case, I am adding the heavy whipping cream along with my turnip tops. But I'm going to add that right before the end because I don't want to break the cream. I don't want the cream to separate. I don't want it to curdle. I don't want it to look weird, okay? Chunky. That's not good. And then I will put back in the bacon, and then dinner will be ready. Y'all, I wish I had some bread. Oh, why I didn't think about making bread before all of this. Oh, well, we at the end. Moving on. Okay, here we are. As I turn up the tops. Hope y'all can see that. Kind of lightly chop them all up. Here they go in the pot. Lord have mercy, this one-handed business is full of nuts. Y'all gonna have to really educate me on how to make this work without someone else helping you record. Okay, turnip tops in. All right, let's try 5 minutes from now and see what this look like when these turnip tops start cooking down, wilting, getting in there. Oh, I don't like that. Wait a minute now. We gotta still. I mean, it's a little, but I don't want no big old stem in there. Okay. All right, now right there, that's grease that I spooned like so off the top of the soup. Because when you get to be a certain age, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't reached it yet, too much grease in your diet will do you a mischief, okay? You don't want it. And seeing as I don't want to be tagged to my lavatory tomorrow, we're going to reduce the amount of grease in our diet. Okay? All right. See y'all in maybe 3 to 5 minutes as we cook the turnip greens in. And we're going to do a little flavor check before we put our cream in. See if there's more seasonings involved that need to happen to make it taste how I want it to taste. Or how you want it to taste. All right. All right, we back. Time to taste this concoction. Hold on, let me give it another stir. Got my little side spoon. Don't go putting like things in your mouth. Get a spoon. Don't use the big spoon to taste it, okay? Unless the pot is just for you. Okay, if it's just for you, then don't let me tell you what to do. Okay? You mind your business. I'm a mind man. Alright, here we go. Let me give it a little tasty taste. It's hot. Hold on. Oh, it's hot. Nope. It's hot. Hear me blowing on it? Hold on. That's good. Okay. Okay, it do need something. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I gave it a taste. And I tell y'all what, you need a little some of this. What's this? Sugar. Okay, we're gonna it's just a pinch. It's not enough. It's not gonna give you the diabetes or nothing like that. It's just to enhance the flavor profile. And this is spicy, ladies and gentlemen. My version, anyhow. Because not only was my Italian sausage spicy, but I also added additional chili flakes. So, yeah. What's that? You want to taste? What's over there? That's what's left. Right there. Y'all, my son is in here trying to get a hold of the... It's very hot. Huh? Okay, so I put the sugar in there. It's too hot for you. Okay, we'll get your flavor reaction later. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and pour in my heavy cream. That was not a whole container. This is leftover from something I made a couple days ago. So I'll just use that, and I just turned off my heat. Basically, turn it down to nothing because, like I said before, I don't want this to separate. Let me turn it all the way off. I don't want it to separate my cream and make it lumpy. But that almost instantly thickens your soup. That heavy cream. Make sure it's the heavy whipping cream. Although you could use evaporated milk. You could use canned evaporated milk. You could use whole milk. You could use what you have. I prefer the whipping cream though because it gives it such a delightful thickness. And then here we come with the bacon again. Put that bacon in there. Oh no, this one piece of bacon don't want to come. Get it now. Stir it up. Stir it. Yes. Okay. So it is 6:36 p.m. I'm past due for serving dinner. We serve dinner around these parts at 6:30. So let me quit playing in this pot and let me get the bowl served up and call my family for dinner and see if we can't get a reaction from one of the small people or tiny humans on how they feel about it. All right, we at the table now. Me and the minions are... Wait, where you go, little girl? Lord have mercy, she crawled under the table. Please don't burn yourself and knock that bowl over. Thank you. I'm going to burn myself. I want you to exercise caution. Alexander's excited that there's bacon in the situation. That's his excited face. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start with Angelique. Let's start with her.
I thought you said it would start with you, Mom.
Oh, you want to start with me? Okay. I done already tasted it. Okay, I know it's good. But, I mean, I could give it a... Wait, oh, there I am. Hello, me. How you doing? Okay, now, for those of you who are kind of familiar with the recipe for zuppa toscana from the Italian restaurant of fame, this is similar to that. This is different from that because, A, we use turnip greens, and carrots. There are components of this that are similar to that recipe, but if you like that soup, you will probably like this soup. So let's get into a little tasty taste for me. It's still real hot. It's like more hot lava, y'all. Okay, here we go. With the dog growling.
Rosie angry because she can't have any.
Is that what the problem is?
Yes.
Oh, mercy of the Lord. It's good.
No one wants to see you chew.
I don't want to see me chew. Let's go get them chew then. Your turn. Oh, you gonna be special? Okay, moving on. All right, tell me what you think, son. Be honest.
Let's get a little bit of everything.
Don't burn your tongue. What's that face?
God is good. God is great. God is good.
Is that the food is good? I mean, God always good. But yeah, the food good. The food good. Okay.
God is good.
If you need seconds, it's enough for second, thirds, and fourths. And now here we are.
Yum.
What you just tasted?
I did. Stop clowning, bro. Just eat it. Just got a piece of. Oh my god.
And what are your thoughts?
Too spicy.
Too spicy. I know the queen of the hot Cheeto ain't tell me that's too spicy.
Ticket, you just took a little tiny bite of a vegetable.
A vegetable?
Yes.
Oh,
Go back to learning school.
learning school.
Yeah,
Okay.
go back to learning school. It's actually the heck is that?
Well, here we are. It's dinner time at the Golden Lane Garden. And I just took you through the end of life video of the turnips. Now, I hope to remember what turnip it was I planted. It was a seed from Kitazawa Seeds. I will tell you that. Kitazawa Seeds is how I remember that it's an Asian type of turnip. If I remember what it is, I'll put it in the description of the video so that you can get it, and then for yourself if you want to try it. It's very mild and it tastes just like potato. It gives full-on potato, like maybe more yellow potato than russet, but it's somewhere in the middle of a yellow potato and a russet potato. But it's very good. It doesn't have a weird taste or anything like that. It's not spicy, it's not gritty. It is potato. So and y'all should probably go Google for you folks who are on low carbs and stuff like that. Look and see what the carbohydrates are for turnips, and see if maybe you might need to use turnips in the future to substitute out for things that you would normally use potatoes for. I have used turnips and made french fries out of them, and they were delicious. So try it out, see how you like it. If you have any tips and tricks for me on recording videos, editing, all of that, tools, uses, please leave my bananas alone. Or if there's something that you'd like for me to go over or show you, or some part of the planting process, some part of any of these processes, let me know. And I'll see what I can do to accommodate. Bye.
Bye.